Good. You?
Before before Ohio State had offered you and kind of taken an interest in you on the recruiting trail, how much were they even like on your own personal radar? A, just being from California, and B, maybe being a little more of an unheralded recruit.
They weren't on my radar at all. When I first met them, they were coming to see my quarterback, and my coach called me out of class to come catch balls for my quarterback. So that first interaction was with Coach Day, and he told me to come out to a camp in the summer. I wasn't really looking to come out because I wasn't really a big recruit. So he reached out to me again after like my third game, my senior year, and we just kept building from there. And he ended up offering me like mid-season. So.
I mean, did you take like an immediate interest in them, or like was the distance an issue for you at all? Or I mean, obviously Ohio State's this big-time program who's had success. Did you kind of immediately, pursue that and want to play there?
Not at all at first. I mean, I never really thought I was gonna get an offer from Ohio State, but it was definitely an interest. Location was tough for me because I'm big on family, but I ended up making the best decision at the end. So.
All righty, we'll go next to Tony Gerdeman from Buckeye Scoop. Tony.
Chris, the way things are going right now, do you feel like the passing game is almost unstoppable?
We feel like we have a lot of targets in the passing game, a lot of threats, and a lot of people that we could depend on in the passing game. That's how we feel like we're unstoppable there. We don't just have two or three people. We have multiple people we could go to, especially on third down and them deep shots. We could go to multiple people also. So that's where we feel comfortable, and I do feel like we're unstoppable in the passing game.
And then how are you keeping the young guys locked in as well? Maybe not seeing as many snaps as perhaps they expected. How do you keep them locked in during practice and throughout the week?
I mean, we all went through that as freshmen. Not playing much. I know I went through it. Jamison and Garrett went through it. But, I mean, practice is practice. And, we all practicing hard that's what we do here. So that's pretty much how we stay locked in.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Joey Kaufman from the Columbus Dispatch. Joey.
Chris, do you feel your timing this year is better with Justin than it was last year?
Yeah, I feel like it's way better. I mean, I know when the ball is gonna come out. I know he knows my body language. He told me early. He knows where I'm gonna be. We built that chemistry along this off season. I mean, just throwing a lot, getting those reps, the physical reps at the practice field, and just being able to read each other better. I feel like we're way better than last year, and we just got to keep building on it. So,
was it just a lot of reps this offseason? Because a lot of the throws he hits you on are high difficulty passes. They're not normally ones where you'd have this amazing timing typically.
Yeah. It all comes together at the end. I feel like he trusts me and I trust him. So when he see me one-on-one, he could trust me with throwing that ball up and putting it in a good spot for me to make a play on it. But in the routine and the routine passes, those got to be routine, and we got to capitalize on those. But on the contested catches, I got to make a play for him and make a play for the team.
All right, we'll go next to Stephen Means from Cleveland.com. Stephen.
Chris, kind of along those same lines. Starting off with, how do you and Garrett, one of you being outside and one of you being inside? I know Garrett can move outside as well, but for the most part, he's in the slot and you're outside. How do you two kind of complement each other? And, how is, I guess, Justin take advantage of that within games?
I feel like me and Garrett are a good duo. Garrett get a lot of targets in the slot, and if they want to bracket him in the slot, then you got me on the outside, or you got Rucker on the outside, or you got Jamison on the other side. But if they double me, then you got Garrett underneath or running slants or running corner routes. So I feel like they got to stay true. They got to stay true to both of us, and they can't just focus on one of us. So.
And when you guys
All right.
weren't here, when you guys had to go home, I guess what was the communication like with you two, especially with Justin, as you guys are still trying to build chemistry and build a rapport, even if you can't necessarily rep it on the field at that time?
We were just trying to stay in shape and just trying to be the best, attack every day, and just try to be the best for ourselves. I mean, we knew we were going to get together, but we didn't know when. So we just wanted to keep working out and just keep trying to be the best.
All right, we got a bunch of hands still raised, so let's keep it to one question. We will go next to Brendan Gulick from Buckeyes Now on Sports Illustrated.
Hey, Chris, thanks for the time with us this afternoon, man. I want to build off what you had answered Kyle's question earlier about, being from California, man. You're a long way from home. Your family's a long way from you. And Ohio State, you said, wasn't initially, sort of on your radar. So I'm hoping you can give us a little perspective on how this whole thing sort of came together for you. And when you realized that, you fell in love with this place, even though there's all this history and tradition here, and frankly, how you've been able to make it work with your family, because you mentioned you're awfully close with them.
I grew up watching Pac-12 ball. I was a big Oregon fan when Chip Kelly was there, and they're one of the best programs in the country. So I remember that 2014 national championship game, and Ohio State beat Oregon in the championship game. And I didn't really know who Ohio State was until that day. And in college, in high school, Ohio State always been one of the top programs in the country. And when they came to my school, I never thought they would offer me, or I never thought I would be here. So when they ended up offering me, it was one of my first big offers. And then that's when everybody started following. After the Ohio State offer, the Pac-12 started offering me. The big time schools in the Pac-12 started offering me, but I always wondered why the Pac-12 wasn't first. And me and Coach Day, and we built that relationship. He built that relationship with my family, but he always was honest with me throughout the whole recruiting process. And when I visited Ohio State in November for the Michigan State game, it felt like home. But it was so far away, so I waited it out to try to visit some Pac-12 schools. But I always felt like this was home, and I ended up committed the week before the second signing day, and it was the best decision I ever made. So.
All right, we'll go next to Bill Rabinowitz from the Columbus Dispatch. Bill.
Hi, Chris. How sure were you last week that you'd be able to play? I mean, obviously you got dinged up against Nebraska. If there's any light you can shed on what happened and your recovery process.
It was never a doubt I was gonna play. I was good when I got back to the sideline on that Saturday against Nebraska. It was just a good little hit, a good football play, but it was never a doubt throughout the week. I mean, I communicated with the trainers, I communicated with the coaches, and I was fine throughout the week.
All right, thanks, Chris.
All righty, next up, we will go with Austin Ward, Letterman Row. Austin.
Chris, it seems like there's been a lot more conversation about your block on Saturday night than the touchdowns. Is it possible that you can take more pride in throwing a good block than scoring a touchdown, or how does that strike you?
My freshman year, we had a lot of good blockers in the room. Learned from Terry and Paris and Johnny and Austin Mack, and those guys always took pride in their blocking. So that's a big thing in our receiver room, and I'm looking to take more pride in my blocking this year. So.
Thanks, man.
Okay, next up, let's spend Patrick Murphy, 247. Patrick.
Chris, Justin talked a little bit about the deep ball connection he has with you and Garrett. From a receiver standpoint, what goes into catching a deep ball from a guy like Justin, who's obviously pretty accurate with it, but you still have to get open and find the ball? Take us through your perspective on those shots.
Them the shots that we want. Them the shots that I want for sure. the D-ball tracking it comes naturally to me, and that's a blessing to me. But first, I just want to get open. I want to have some separation between me and the DB. And at the end of the day, you just got to make a play. That's one of my favorite things in football is being able to make that deep ball and make a big time splash in the game. So, and that's why I'm here.
All right, and last questioner for Chris will be Dan Hope from 11 Warriors. Dan.
Hey, Chris. On the other night on the radio, Ryan Day said that you might be the best receiver that he's been around. What does that mean to you to get such high praise from your coach?
That means a lot, especially coming from Coach Day. He's been around a lot of good receivers, guys like Deshaun Jackson. He's been in the NFL a couple years, and it's definitely a blessing to hear that. And coming from one of the best coaches in the country, I don't even got words for that. So it's huge.
What do you think you've done to kind of put yourself in that position?
I just kept my head down and kept working. I mean, from my freshman year to now, I feel like I've developed a lot. I've learned from guys like Terry and Paris and Johnny that winning doesn't come on Saturdays; it comes throughout the week. And I learned that I feel like I go out there and practice hard every day. I don't give it up. I don't give my all just on Saturdays. I give them all throughout the week. And I'm just trying to set that example and set that standard for the younger guys on the team, and hopefully they could bring it up and show some other people.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, Chris, thank you very much for your time today. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good day.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to click on that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing, and come visit us over at BuckeyeGrove.com for all the best Ohio State information on the web.